This is Jets at Noon with Cameron Poitras and Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
The older you get, the more things kind of sink in, and I'm still just playing the game and having fun doing it. So at the end of the day, I'm not really looking at where I'm sitting in the history books. It's cool to see as it happens, but for me, I'm still a kid at heart and just playing a game I love. So, as all these things start to accumulate, it'll be really cool to look back once I'm done and retired about how cool and how prestigious all this stuff might be. But right now, I'm just living in the moment and enjoying every second of the way.
Now I'm gonna say this, Jim. Welcome to the show. Free for all Friday, 204-780-6868. Phone line's open, text line is open. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on the Winnipeg Jets off season. Whatever you want, whatever hockey related, doesn't matter. Give us a call. It is that is the off season for the Jets.
It's a big day. It's free for all Friday, but this is a big day.
The Jets, actually, it's nothing to do with the Jets. The NHL should get Kelly Moore to run its confidentiality. Because, everyone knows that leaked photo of Connor Hellebuyck we talked about earlier this week ended up being confirmed yesterday.
Yeah.
That he was a Hart Trophy winner and the Vezina. Kind of took the wind out of the sails of the announcement. It was still surprising when we saw it, but it would have been a little bit better if we would have found out.
You're right. That wouldn't happen under Moore's watch. 680
CJOB's Kelly Moore spoke to Connor Hellebuyck. We just ran a part of the audio. We'll run the audio over the rest of the show. Didn't say a peep. I had no idea until afterwards.
I even saw him yesterday. I said, "How's it going? What's new?" He said, "Nothing."
So we'll keep hearing from Connor Hellebuyck today. I'm just saying Kelly should be like their confidentiality officer. Because I'll tell you this, there would have been no accidental screenshots.
But you know what? What you bring up quickly here is very valid.
Yeah.
We live in a world that somebody lost their job over a photo. Now, I don't know if it was the sound guy or if it was whatever, or buddy.
Rightfully so, honestly.
Somebody, and it might not have been them that leaked it. They might have sent it to a friend and go, "Hey, just so you know." And that friend did. But either way, you're losing your job, right? Because nobody from the family would have done it. Eric Comrie wouldn't have done it.
No, God, no.
So somebody on this crew that was filming had to have leaked this photo, and you've lost your job over it. And why? Well, just because you knew something a week ago that you can't contain to yourself, or you have to let people know that you know. Like Kelly's a prime example, right?
Kelly
he won the. He could have gone to air at any time or put out on social media. I confirmed, and he would have got a ton of likes, and he would have got a ton of followers, and everything else that goes. Oh, Kelly's on the inside. But why?
No, exactly.
You have a job and you're getting the job done. And how it works is, due to your confidentiality, you get some audio. We're the radio partners of the team. We get to have an interview with Connor Hellebuyck and hear his thoughts after it was presented to him. The need to release this sometimes is asinine.
Yeah.
And somebody's lost their job over it, I would hope.
Yeah.
Because there's no need to.
It's
not Watergate. There aren't lives at stake here. You want to be somebody that knows something that somebody else doesn't, I guess.
Anyways, congratulations to Connor Hellebuyck.
Yes.
This is crazy. So the Hart Trophy's been handed out for 101 years, Jim. And a Winnipeg Jet has never been on the trophy. There's one now, Connor Hellebuyck, 3-time Vezina winner, 1-time Hart Trophy MVP. This is an incredible day, an incredible individual feat. And a lot of the talk last offseason, Jim, was that the Winnipeg Jets didn't have superstars. That is officially done now. Well, the Winnipeg Jets do have a superstar, and it's in net.
I'll take it one step further. As I've been saying for a couple of years now, I think you're witnessing a Hall of Fame career. Mm-hmm. This is, if it ends this season, if he never plays another game, he's going to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
I think we can start. That's about to say. I think we can start removing that think.
Yeah, I mean, the third Vezina, I would go, I believe he's going to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's got 3 Vezinas, 5 nods. He's got 7 years left on a deal. I mean, one more would do it, right? But I would say I believe. You add in a Hart Trophy with 3 Vezinas, as the best player in the league, he's going to the Hockey Hall of Fame, and he's got 7 years left.
Nothing else to win, Jim, but one more thing. That's it. It's a Stanley Cup.
Well, and that's the thing, right? And you know, I was listening to Leah Hextall on 11 with Hal Anderson, and I just thought, you know, look, he's stumbled in the playoffs, but so has the team. Mm-hmm. To say that they would have beat Colorado last year if Hellebuyck played, I don't believe that. They gave up too much.
Way too much.
Way too much down the line and everything
Much,
else.
yeah.
The year before that, the team played horrible. They beat Vegas in game 1. They were inch and inch in a game here that they lost in overtime. But other than that, and the no-show in the elimination game, that was a team thing. There was some growth here in the playoffs, and he does need to get his game next season at playoff time, because this, in my mind, is a playoff team for 2 to 3 more years.
Absolutely.
He needs to gather that in from game 1 at the start of the playoffs, but he's also going to have the odd falter one. But this is a Hockey Hall of Fame career that we're watching live, and I just think some people need to appreciate that more.
Jets at Noon is brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line to win a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method, 204-780-6868. We're coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio. Try the new Triple Pep Pizza only at Boston Pizza. So we got some text messages here. We got some calls as well. Let's get Francis on the show. Hey, Francis. Welcome to Jets at Noon. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great.
Okay.
I just want to comment on Hellebuyck getting the Hart Trophy. I'm happy for him. It's all great, but I really think this is the ideal time to trade Hellebuyck. You know what you could get with him? You could get an awful lot of stuff that'll give a lot more assets to the team. I bet you could get a goalie that he wouldn't be as good in the regular season as Hellebuyck, I'll admit that. In the playoffs, he'd be better, and you get another top-end player to go along with him. You get your second-line center and a real good one with that trade. And I just don't think Connor Hellebuyck's ever going to get a Stanley Cup and get the Jets there. I just don't think so. So I think the general manager should take an opportunity here to do something. I know it would be unheard of to ever trade a Hart Trophy winner, but I think the Jets should be the first to do it. And I think it would change things for him for the better.
Francis, it's free-for-all Friday, so I'm going to think about this. Any other day, I probably would have cut you off 2 minutes ago.
I know you would have.
And I would have been all respectful. I literally put my head in my hands when you said that.
I expect
you are not going to get equal value for Connor Hellebuyck right now. There's no team out there that will give you what he's worth in a trade.
That's because every other team knows what he's going to do to them in the playoffs.
That's not true. Every other
the Jennings Trophy and the
Francis
and the
every other team's
playoff time comes out second round guaranteed. That's what every other team knows.
Francis, every other team's GM who runs those teams that would have to make this trade just voted him the best player in the league. That's who votes on this. Every other team's person who runs that team just voted him the best player in the National Hockey League.
So then it should be pretty easy to get something good. That's my whole point.
Also,
you should be able to get, like you could probably get, I don't know, and if they're being up for trade, but someone like Saros or like Logan Thompson, and you could still get a really good second line guy with them.
Francis, I cannot disagree with you more. Like I'm at 100%. I think you're 100% wrong on this, Francis. When we look at, the voting by the general managers choose the Vezina.
And they're the ones that do the trading.
The general managers choose the Vezina. Sorry.
So 31 NHL general managers voted for Connor Hellebuyck as number one. There was only one who voted for Andre. There was only one that voted for Andre Vasilevsky. I happen to think maybe that general manager perhaps is in Tampa Bay. I have to think maybe.
Do you, Francis, think that last year, who won the Hart? McDavid? Or no, Nathan McKinnon.
McKinnon.
Do you think they needed a goaltender last year, right? And do you think that they thought about trading him to get a goalie? When McDavid won it, do you think the Oilers thought of trading McDavid to get a goalie? Because they need a goalie, right? But they're finding ways to win.
McKinnon performed like Connor Hellebuyck in the playoffs. I want to hear that 1 year or that 3 games or
Francis.
Nathan
McKinnon was bounced out of the second round last year after they beat the Jets. And then they didn't get out of the first round this year. They lost to Dallas.
Hey, how many points did Nathan McKinnon have last year in the playoffs?
Francis, we heard you. We appreciate it. And I thought about it because it's free for all Friday. Thanks for the call.
And I'll give you the final word on that one, Francis. Okay. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
I did not think we would start it that way today.
Yep.
That's shocking. I got to give it to you. Just when I thought.
You know what, Jim?
I am shocked.
You know what? It's time for the Winnipeg Jets to be bold. Maybe it's time for them to be that bold. Trading Connor Hellebuyck.
My point of McDavid winning several Hart trophies and them not trading him is because then you find other ways to get what you need. If you need a second line center, there's other players to trade as opposed to the best player in the National Hockey League this year. And you find your second line center by trading different players or signing somebody.
I thank you, Francis, because now the phone lines are totally jammed. Destry, welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going today?
Good. How
are you?
That last caller has me shaking my head. Like, we trade Hellebuyck. What are we going to do? Have Comrie for the rest of the year next year?
Well, Francis has called us. Francis has called us many times. He's left us messages and stuff like that. He believed that Comrie should have been the starting goaltender. Yeah,
he's right. Like he's right. Every GM would be after that trade. He's not wrong about that. But there's not a GM out there that could offer equal trade. What is equal trade for not only the best goalie but the best player in the National Hockey League? You would have to send 5 players and 2 picks to get somebody of this ilk. To me, it's like thinking, what would it cost to get McDavid? You're not getting him for 3 players and a pick.
Well, how would you be able to pry Nathan McKinnon out of Colorado?
You would have to send like a package of 4 or 5 players and 2 picks.
Andre Vezina or Alexander Barkov off the Panthers.
Well, the reason I was calling in the first place was I'm surprised that Hellebuyck's the first Hart Trophy winner. I'm surprised Howard-Chuck didn't get it back in the day. Can you imagine what the Jets would have been like without Dale Howard-Chuck on the team?
Well, I think...
I thought about that myself, actually. I was like, who would have been close? And the only one I think would be close for a Hart would be Howard-Chuck 1.0 or 2.0.
Yeah, because without Howard-Chuck, we wouldn't even have been in the playoffs fighting with the Oilers.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Jester. Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
You too. Call the Boston Pizza Jets at noon hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Dig into the new Triple Pep Pizza and Double Trouble Nachos, available now only at Boston Pizza.
I'm stunned.
I'm not stunned.
You're right. I shouldn't have been stunned.
So I have the answer, Howard-Chuck was nominated for the Hart.
Yeah.
He was nominated. He came close. I'll tell you how close when we come back.
I thought maybe Solani, but not as close as Howard-Chuck. But those are the 2 names I came up with that I thought could have, if it worked out, won a Hart.
I'll tell you how close Howard-Chuck got when we come back. Hang on the line. We will get to you when we come back. Dale Howard-Chuck did finish the closest he got in Hart Trophy voting. In 84-85, he had 130 points. And he was finished second in Hart Trophy voting, but it wasn't close. Wayne Gretzky took it. He was only on 1 first-place ballot vote, and Gretzky was on 60.
And Hellebuyck has 6 years left. It was a 7-year deal. I apologize.
Yeah. He got 6th in Hart voting,
you might want to look at it. That contract's running out.
And 5th in Hart voting over the course of his career. But the closest he got was number 2, but the problem was Wayne Gretzky and the Oilers.
Always in the way.
Dang you, Oilers! We'll be right back.
Oilers!
One of those things where, as a goalie, you have your own awards, and you just watch forwards and D-men just rack them up all through the years, and you kind of just get in your own world about the goaltending world. So when the Hart kind of drifts towards the goalie, you take notice, and it makes you really feel like you did something special. That being said, these individual awards are never individually won. It takes a whole organization to help you win that and to help you achieve that. So I'm just very grateful for the guys I have around me and the organization I'm part of.
That was Connor Hellebuyck in conversation here on 680 CJOB with our Kelly Moore, who was able to speak with him before the things came official with Connor Hellebuyck as winner of his 3rd Vezina as well as the Hart Trophy. Jets at Noon is brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line and win a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method, 204-780-6868. We're coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio. Try the new triple pep pizza only at Boston Pizza. Let's get back to the phone lines here. Let's bring Jamie on the show. Hey, Jamie.
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. What's up? What's on your mind?
Just obviously commenting about Francis it was and his view on treating Hellebuyck. Again, in the majority of it, that's just nonsense. You guys have already said the obvious, like, who are we going to put in for Hellebuyck? And why do we need Hellebuyck? You guys talk over and over about the answers with getting the rest of the team up to par. We had the highest scoring line. We got the best goaltender. So I think we just need to tune up on defense. Probably going to be a little bit easier than trading the best goaltender in the league.
Yeah, I would think it's a lot easier to get a second-line center via trade, via free agency, via draft, whatever. And, well, draft isn't going to help you in the next 2 or 3 years. And another defenseman than it would be to get equal value for the best player in the National Hockey League right now.
And let's just say, by some miracle, that we prove the whole world wrong and we get closer, win the Stanley Cup in the next 2, 3, 4 years. Then who do we have on contract for other 2, 3, 4 years after that? Like, I think people are just a little nearsighted, go on emotions, but thank goodness they're not in charge and people who make the decisions.
Jamie, you got it right. I mean, it's the people that call and they have, I would say, some bold, you can put that as many brackets as you want in quotation marks, bold, in my opinion, ideas like trading Connor Hellebuyck. You hit it. I mean, they're people that just want the Jets to win and they're trying to find a reason for it. And trading Connor Hellebuyck, that is not the way for this team to get to the next. He is irreplaceable. Connor Hellebuyck is irreplaceable. You cannot find another Connor Hellebuyck in the league right now in the National Hockey League. He's not there.
The other thing is that $8.5 million for the best player at his position, you're probably looking at 6 or 7 minimum to bring in who you're trading him for, and then you got to fill the goaltender spot. And so it's actually going to cost you money to get rid of the best player in the league at his position.
And what kind of
It's going to cost you. You have to have another goalie. And don't tell me Comrie's going to go, I'll be the starter for the same price. No, he'll be like, I'll be the starter for probably $4 million.
So you say you're a contending team and you think that Connor Hellebuyck is your missing piece. Jamie, thanks so much for the call. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jamie.
No problem.
Right,
Looking forward to Strovler and the Bombers.
Yeah. Hey, Jamie, do you want a car wash, by the way, from our good friends at Wash Method?
Absolutely. My truck would love it.
All right. I'm sure it would. There's a lot of romance involved.
There is romance.
Bring the significant other as well,
truck,
Jamie. Take care.
Clean living right there, Jamie. Good job, buddy.
So you're a team that's contending, okay? This is why trading Connor Hellebuyck just, to me, makes no sense. You're a team that's contending, right? You feel that Connor Hellebuyck is the missing piece to your puzzle. What is it going to cost you to bring him in? And is your team actually a contending team after all the pieces you have to move out to get to the value of Connor Hellebuyck?
Well, this is what I mean.
It makes you can't figure it out.
Edmonton would love it. Edmonton would adore it to get over the hump. They would, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
But you're not sending us Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and there's your second line center hole filled. That's not enough. He's the best player in the world, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins isn't even the best player on your team. So then, and at what Ryan Nugent-Hopkins makes, explain to me how you're filling the goaltender. Like, I'm sorry, I've spun it around everywhere. I wouldn't do it to begin with. And there are easier ways to add to your team and get it over the hump than trading the best player at his position. And then if you did, it doesn't match. You think Edmonton is going to acquire Connor Hellebuyck and give you Leon Draisaitl? I don't think so. They're going to go and get a better goaltender than the goaltenders they have, the same way as the Jets are going to go get a better second-line center.
Maybe Colorado would give Cale Makar and Nathan MacKinnon for Connor Hellebuyck. That's a fair trade.
Do you think they would trade MacKinnon or Makar for Hellebuyck? Or do you think they'll do what they did and go trade for some goalies that actually made their team better and gave them a chance to win?
How many teams actually have a player on them right now that would even be in the class of Connor Hellebuyck? Like, honestly, Nathan MacKinnon, Cale Makar. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl.
I mean,
like
Cam,
it's
he's
such
the best
a short
player in the
list.
league right now, and he's the best player at his position for the last 5 years. So I don't know. Like, you're talking Makar, you're talking Draisaitl.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants him? Everybody. So who? I mean, name me the best player on the team, and I'll tell you half of them aren't worth it.
31 of 32 general managers said they would take Connor Hellebuyck over every other goaltender in the league right now. So where does that, how much value is it? I want Connor Hellebuyck on my team. Okay, you don't have enough assets on your team unless you're Edmonton and it involves Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid or Colorado. We wasted too much time on this.
We have to get more calls, but yes, St. Louis series. Then what happened in the overtime in St. Louis? And then what happened against Dallas? He played great against Dallas. Everybody says he sucks in the playoffs. Where did he suck in the Dallas series?
Peter, welcome to the show.
Hi. How are you doing?
Good. What do you want to? What's on your mind?
So Hellebuyck, the Vezina, yeah, he deserves it for sure. He's the only one that does. But the Hart, I'm not so sure because without Hellebuyck, the Jets still surely would have made it to the playoffs. They wouldn't have won the President's Trophy. How many games did he win them like outright? If it wasn't for him,
he had 8 shutouts. He had 8 shutouts.
Yeah, but what did they win in all those shutouts?
I'm sorry.
4-0. They could have let in 2 goals. I'm just saying that.
I don't understand your point, Peter.
I'm saying how many games did he downright win them? For the Hart Trophy, it's the most valuable player for the team.
I would look at all the games that they won letting 2 goals or less. And I would look at the 8 shutouts and I would add those up and I'm like, those are the ones he single-handedly won.
Peter, his goals against average was 2.00.
Yeah.
So I would say that's a lot of games.
So if he lets in 3 or 4, I would add up the games where he let in 2 goals or less and the shutouts, and I would tell you that's the games he won them.
Yeah, he didn't but if they wouldn't have had him, they still would have made it to the playoffs. I'm just saying, I think the Hart Trophy, he kind of, I don't know, I think Kucherov was one of the 3 that was nominated. I think he was, without him, Tampa Bay would have not even made it to the playoffs.
That's a valid point.
See, Peter, you have a valid point there, I think, but to question how many games Hellebuyck won them. All right, Peter, thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Peter.
Go Oilers.
Oh, Peter.
Peter, I have to hang up on you now.
That's a valid point about other players and if they're not on the team, if they make the playoffs or not. I can't. This is what I mean about some. You have the best player in the league this year, and you're criticizing it. You're finding ways to poke holes in it, and you're.
This is how people are. Jim.
I'm not sitting here going, St. Louis series didn't happen. He didn't get pounded for 3 games on the road. But nobody's perfect, right? This is as close to perfect as you're going to get, and we're nitpicking here.
He had 47 wins. His goals against average in the regular season was 2.00.
In 63 games, he
had
averaged
8 shutouts.
2 goals or less. In 63 games, he averaged 2 goals or less.
Hey, Ron, welcome to Jets at Noon. What's on your mind?
Hey, I'd just like to talk a little bit about this a little more objectively. Hellebuyck prior to this, I sense your sarcasm because you guys are more fans than objective. Hellebuyck prior to this season is one of the few goalies who was a Vezina goalie who lost 4 straight games in the playoffs 4 different years, okay? You can't deny that. Laurent Brassard, as our goalie, was almost on par with Hellebuyck in terms of his production. He didn't play as many games, but we didn't lose a lot when he was in the net. You have to look at his playoff record and accept the fact that he really let the team down in that St. Louis series. We're talking like we're 1 player away from winning the Stanley Cup. We're not. I would trade Hellebuyck without a problem and rather have a 1A and 1B goalie here. And then you can't even pull Hellebuyck in the playoffs because you guys say you can't pull him. And the only thing I'll say to you guys, the way you talk, you make it out like if he left, it'd be catastrophic. Wayne Gretzky was traded in 1988, and the Oilers won the Cup in 1990, okay? With Bill Ranford in goal, who was a rookie goalie. So to sit here and pretend like without Hellebuyck it's going to be doom and gloom, He doesn't compete in the playoffs. He's a technically sound goalie, but he's not like Bobrovsky. He doesn't try to do out-of-body or Dominic Hasek out-of-body type saves. He freezes in a position. That's how he's a structural goaltender.
Ron, you are dead wrong on almost everything you said.
You're dead wrong, and
Ron, you are dead wrong. You're talking about objectively.
Ron, if you
31 out of 32 general managers, I've said how many times I have to say this, picked Connor Hellebuyck as number one.
You know what?
You're talking about objective. That's objective.
Ron, we get called homers by guys like you all the time.
You are a homer.
Here's the problem.
You're both homers.
Listen.
You're just glad to be there.
Ron, I work to be here.
Goodbye.
Oh, you're going to hang up. I'm shocked, Ron. I'm shocked you're going to hang up, Ron.
On you. Ron, hang up. Why don't you hang up yet?
Did we listen to you, Ron? Do you want to listen to us? No?
Oh, he's gone.
Ron, the objective part comes in when we talk about the last three playoffs, and then we get into the playoff series like the Colorado one and look at how the team allowed double the high danger chances in front of the goalie. We didn't alleviate Hellebuyck from that, but we said when you double the high danger chances, you constantly not a lot of people, but you and a couple others reach out to us and call us homers. The objectiveness comes when Cam did the work prior to the playoffs and went into all of his playoff career, not just the last 3 years. And all of his playoff career in the first 3 years, he was exceptional. He had great numbers. So if anything, the argument is he's had 3 great years of playoffs, numbers-wise, and he's had 3 bad years of playoffs, number-wise. That's the objective part. That's when you sit down and look at all the facts and you include all the facts and make your decision. You don't have to agree because he's had 3 bad ones and he's had 3 good ones. But when I add up the 3 good ones, the regular season, and see how the team's played in front of him, it's not alleviating him. He's one of the best players on the team. He's got to be better. That's being objective. What's not being objective is you're never going to win a cup with Connor Hellebuyck. That's not objective. Because most of the statistics, most of the facts show you have a very good chance of winning it with him. But thank you for the call, Ron. All opinions are welcome. But if you don't want to have an open discussion and go back and forth and just assume things, then fine. But you got your say in and then you hung up.
Yeah.
And the objective part is we're not homers. We do the work. We're not just happy to be here. We're here because we look this stuff up for you, our listeners, and deliver it to you. You don't have to believe it. But it doesn't mean we don't have to either. So that's how it works. And we appreciate the call. But if you want to go on the last 3 years, you have to include the previous 3 years, and you have to include the Dallas series with the St. Louis series. Nobody's saying he didn't get pounded in St. Louis, and nobody said, including Connor Hellebuyck himself, that he needed to be better in St. Louis series. What was wrong with how he played against Dallas? You all want to ride the 3 games in St. Louis. Fair enough. We're looking at them. We were on the air daily during that series going, woof, he got pulled twice. And then Dallas came along, and nobody like you, Ron, talks about how well he played against Dallas. 2 shutouts against Dallas. Do you want to be objective and talk about that with the St. Louis series? Let us know. Call back anytime.
Let's take a break. On the other side, let's dig into the Boston Pizza Jets at Noon hotline, which is over 24/7.
Tried to have a nice cheeseburger pizza today, and everything got messed up.
204-780-6800. Dig into the new Triple Pet Pizza and Double Trouble Nachos, available only now at Boston Pizza. We'll give away that $50 gift certificate to Boston Pizza. Jim,
and Ron, if you want a car wash, call back. Ron, we'll get you one next week.
I'll get you a car wash. Yeah. Everything you said was, I think you nailed it there, Jim. I think you hit everything on the head. I have nothing else to add. We'll be right back.
Poitras and Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
Hey, Mr. Chance, get your thoughts on the show today. Call the Boston Pizza Jets at Noon hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Dig into the new Triple Pet Pizza and Double Trouble Nachos, available now only at Boston Pizza. Let's give away this $50 gift certificate to Boston Pizza. Gord, sorry, Gord, you're coming up just short, but here's your call.
Hey, Cam, it's Gord. I call in quite often and leave comments on your thing, but you never reply, but I guess I'm too negative on them. But anyway, we had a grandchild just born a couple of days ago, and my wife went to the St. Boniface Hospital and then came home and replied today on your text about taking an hour to get from the hospital back to our home here in Richmond West. So I had to laugh. I said, I phoned in there probably 15 times this year. But my wife listens as well, and yeah, you gave her the car wash. So I thought it's a small world. Sometimes you got to have a child to get on the to win a prize. Anyway, thanks again, and have a great day.
So Gord, because your wife just won, I can't give you the prize. That's just the way. That's just how I operate. At least I think we could technically, but congratulations, Gord. And just for the record, and I know you listen on the show all the time, Gord, I can't call back on that number. It's just a call-in line. So I can't like send you a text back or respond. But listen, I listen to them
then, so people can talk to you.
Yeah, 204. Yeah, exactly. So apologies, Ron. Believe me, it's not personal.
And all opinions are welcome, but we're not going to agree, and that's fine. We don't want to. I don't want to beat up Ron too much. Ron, you're pretty upset, and Francis had his say. I am stunned though, and I'm allowed to say that. And we do the work. We have some facts. I have a texter who said he's been terrible in the playoffs. I go, well, here's 3 playoff years where he hasn't been terrible. It's not like we're looking to make Connor Hellebuyck look good. We're not sitting here going, I'm stunned. He has 3 Vezinas. He has, has he struggled in the playoffs the last couple of years? Yes, he has.
Jim,
so has the whole team. But he's also had 3 playoff runs where he's had a .922 save percentage in 4 games that they got swept. That's pretty good. They lost every game. He had .922 save percentage. That's a good goaltending performance for a guy who just got swept.
It's easy to find stats and information that make Connor Hellebuyck look good. If you look at it from top to bottom, don't pick out stuff. Don't cherry pick certain stats from certain games in the playoffs. And you're going to say, listen, Connor Hellebuyck is getting league-wide recognition. That's not us. We didn't have a vote in the Hart Trophy. We didn't have a vote in the Vezina.
Was Bobrovsky pretty good last night? No, he let in 4 goals.
All right, let's give away that $50 gift certificate to Boston Pizza. It goes to Harry.
Harry.
Hi, my name is Harry, and I'm here to say the NHL got it wrong again. What I'm referring to was their choice for Coach of the Year. Now, the Washington coach was chosen, and I'd like to say the Caps had a good year, but their season was basically based on getting OVE's record, which they succeeded at doing. But they quickly struggled after accomplishing their feat and were easily eliminated in the playoffs. Scott Arniel, on the other hand, was barely mentioned, as is custom when you're the runner-up. Scott Arniel did a phenomenal job in getting the Jets to buy into his system and performed so well that they won the President's Trophy. So call me a homer, but I think the NHL got it wrong. Scott Arniel, by far, should have been Coach of the Year. Thank you.
Congratulations, Harry. You got that $50 gift certificate to Boston Pizza. Wow, that was a wild and crazy free-for-all Friday, Jim. Took a turn that I didn't necessarily think it was, but that's what happens when you open the phone lines and you label a show Free-for-all Friday.
Well, as Randy once said, tried to have a nice cheeseburger picnic, Mr. Leahy, and everything got messed up. But hey, we appreciate it. Free-for-all Friday, that's what it is. Rick's on the line. Rick, you want to hang on till the 1 o'clock hour? I'll squeeze you in, Rick.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Happy Father's Day to all the dads.
Hey, congratulations to Connor Hellebuyck on your Hart Trophy.
Wow.
And your Vezina.
Enjoy your day, Connor.
I love you, Hellebuyck. I love you.